The mouse walks up here and whoop. Circle of black stinky stuff. For the ventilation of our plumbing. Shelves done. It's time to put on the curtain rails. 83.5.
It really looks real.
Welcome back to Arcadia. Winter's here. Well, not today. Today we got a little bit of sunshine. A little bit. It's been generally pretty gray here in the last weeks. So not much work going on. Mostly some small chores inside the house. The water at the well. Disconnected. Removed the pump. Put it inside the barn, safe for the winter frost. And we actually already had our first snow. It's very pretty out here. Found the fruit trees that I planted here in spring. I haven't seen them in months because it was all overgrown here and I didn't dare mowing the grass, afraid to chop the trees. Glad to see that they're still here. The tips are chewed off mostly, but that's no surprise with all the deer around here. We did a little bit of cleaning in the barn. Moved out old kitchen furniture and a bunch of stored junk that was sitting here after the renovations. So there's now a place in here for the car. I've made a little mouse trap, a humane mouse trap, to keep any mice that potentially want to live inside our car out of it. So the mouse walks up here, looking for a snake, and whoop, falls inside. So far I haven't catched any yet, but they're probably just busy doing other things around here. Just giving it a try. The old ladder in the house before we renovated it. It's here now. With a couple of quick blocks I mounted it to this diagonal beam. So I can get more easily up here to store some stuff. In the last video I showed you the butternut squash, the big harvest that we had of 40 pieces. Unfortunately, they're not doing so well in the basement. I assume the humidity is a little bit too high because they started going bad. Most of them started growing this moldy spots right at the tips. So I don't really know what to do. Our freezer is already quite full. I cleaned like 5 kilo of the squash and froze it in nice little cubes. Made some soup, ate 2 days from it, but you can only eat squash for so many days in a row. That's what happened to the ones that I brought inside. So I guess we have squash on the menu for Christmas this year. And I brought you here to show you the air conditioning. This here is the pipe with the refrigerant. It also contains a hose for the condensed water that runs from the inside unit and it drips out right here. It doesn't generate condense in the winter though, because we only use it for heating. In the winter the outside unit generates condense. You can see a little drippy here. So I put a bucket under it so it doesn't create a big wet spot here. And I did actually the same process for a chimney. I connected the hose to the overflow to prevent creating an even larger circle of black stinky stuff. I brought some gravel. So before it all turns into mud, I've put some gravel so we can drive over that. I've put up some Christmas lights around the house. We finally got around arranging the entrance. So far it's been just a dumping place, but now it's the proper entry of the house. Today we are working in the closet to solve a little issue that occurred when we installed our plumbing system. When we flush any large quantities of water, the drain in the shower starts bubbling, releasing some unpleasant odors. There's one side of the fan for the ventilation, and on the other side the plumbing. And that pipe there in the back is the one that we'll be working on. This is the highest point of our sewage line, with at the end the anti-vacuum valve. This one lets in air when you flush, preventing a vacuum in the pipes. It's supposed to be the solution to prevent us from actually going through the roof and creating a hole in our brand new roof. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be functioning as it should. We will not have to go through the roof after all. Yesterday we had our air conditioning installed upstairs to provide a source of heating, and the pipes of the air conditioning run right here through the closet, and they go down through the soffits of the house to the exterior unit. And in order to facilitate this pipe, I had to open the soffit. Here we are at my least favorite point of the whole renovation, back into these cramped corners. This part here I already closed when I laid the OSB floor, so I had to cut out a piece in order to access it. And then I removed the insulation material, which brings us to the soffit. And because it's open now, we have the perfect opportunity to pass through a little pipe for the ventilation of our plumbing. The pipes don't really enter very easily because this rubber ring in here is a very tight seal. You can just make it wet with a little bit of saliva, and then it slides in very easy. This is my assistant. She helps with everything. Everything. Get out. Now we can go test the toilet. No bubbles. Job done. I stuffed the rock wool back in place. From the outside I will seal it with some silicone. For now I'm ready to close up the big hole. Now the challenge is to put this sheet of OSB back in place here, notching around the pipes. These two are the openings for the pipes. I will make the cut around this side. I will be able to slide this part into place and then lay this piece from the back. It fits. And that also fits. Bye bye, cavity. Hope to never have to see you again. Before I put the shelves back into place, I want to cover the pipe with this protective tubing that I got. Very easy. I don't even think I'm going to screw it in place. I would only be risking to damage the pipes by forcing the drill bit tight next to it. Shelves done. Great, so we can finally move this pile of clothes and boxes back into the closet. It's getting chilly. It's a pretty grey day, so good time to do some more work inside. I've been postponing this job for a while, but it's time to put on the curtain rails. Now I need to measure upstairs the total length that I need and then cut it to size. $83.5. Hang it on two little hooks. Should be plenty strong. Pretty straightforward installation, upstairs at least, because it goes into a wooden wall. And that brings me to our septic tank. I'm not gonna show you the inside of it because it's quite stinky in there. We had it cleaned yesterday, and that was the second time in about 2.5 months. Pumping out approximately 6 cubic meter. Emptying it is quite expensive, significantly more than I would have expected for such a service. Unfortunately, we don't have sewage yet here in the village. Fingers crossed we're gonna get that quickly. And if we don't, I'm actually planning on modifying the septic tank to add a drain field. So only the solids stay in the tank and just the liquids flow out under the ground. That way we would only have to empty it once every 2-3 years.
We finally put up the ceiling medallions and the ceiling lamps. This one was thrifted. It's a mushroom lamp from the 70s. And the other one is a lamp from IKEA. And now it's finally time to put up the Christmas tree. Where's the Christmas tree? Oh, there it is. We bought an artificial eco-friendly tree, so we don't have to cut up a tree from the forest every year. It's the prettiest artificial tree I've ever seen. It really looks real. So let's unbox it. Oh my gosh! This is it. The third piece. And the feet. Chidi.
And with that, 2024 comes to an end.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.